Like most girls of my age in a city, I spend my weekdays working from 9 to 5. My weekends are reserved for sleep, friends, and family. About 2 months ago, a mentor of mine, Mrs. Bolar, told me about Chittadhama. What caught my interest was the sheer unusualness of what they do, a home for the mentally ill homeless. Sure, we've heard of homes for children, homes for the elderly, but this was different. I started to read up on homelessness and mental health in India. That's when I figured that an estimated 20% of Karnataka's homeless people had mental illnesses in some form or the other. So for every 1 lakh of people who brave life in the open, there are at least 5,000 people who are unable to perform even basic functions for themselves. Chittadhama caters to this section of society, which is largely unseen and so easily forgotten. I asked Mrs. Bolar if she would take me to see how they worked. We set off one morning for the Kote taluk of Mysuru, where Chittadhama is established. I had read that the trustees had jointly bought 4.5 acres of land when they started the home, and that Infosys had donated the building. What I wanted to know was how the process was carried out from day to day, how they helped these people, what their present needs were, and what I could do to help. Greeted by an unexpectedly lush green spot and a friendly dog, my spirits rose. I heard from the manager how their process works. When a mentally ill person is found wandering the streets, Chittadhama is called. After medico-legal processes are carried out, where the person is diagnosed as having a mental illness, he or she is made ward of state with Chittadhama as their temporary guardian. The rescue and rehabilitation process has begun. I also heard that psychiatrists from Bangalore, 2 of the trustees, spend 2 Sundays at Chittadhama every month, giving both outpatient services as well as reviewing the current residents' prognosis and treatment. Since my visit coincided with theirs, I got talking to Dr. Ravishankar Rao about a typical day at Chittadhama, about how he found the brightest sparks of hope in humanity, and about their needs now.
So it starts from the time they wake up in the morning, where they are kind of trained to brush their teeth, wash their faces, then given a wash, then taken to the breakfast area where all of them have to sit down in a way which is kind of socially acceptable in the thing. And then, of course, they say their prayers, and then they're given the breakfast. And after breakfast, we have an activity where some of them, they choose their activity, whether they'll be working in-house or they go out to the fields. And we have 4.5 acres of land over here where we grow our own vegetables. We grow the other fruit trees. So they go and work on the fields. And then we have our dairy over here where a few cows, there's some of them who take the cows out for grazing. And these are what we call as agro-based activities which help them connect with what they've already been doing, since most of them are from the rural areas. After they finish their work in the morning, there are a few people who probably would need some extra care by way of self-care skills, certain amount of social skills. There is time for lunch, and they have their lunch, and then they have a brief period of rest in the afternoon. Then in the evening, they are taken out and they play their games, and it's a group activity. All of them are involved, and all of them do enthusiastically take part. Where resources are concerned, I think we can kind of say that we need human resources. We already have people who are professional caregivers and people who are employed to work over here. And they take care of a lot of the day-to-day needs of our residents. Apart from the medical resources, we need people who would come here and spend time with our patients or help in giving some specialized training where simple skills could be developed which they could kind of go back and use in their activities. So this is where we probably would need a little help. Apart from, of course, and there's always a challenge of financial resources, and that is some place where we meet with difficulties very often.
Your contributions have gone towards helping Chittadhama cater to more such individuals and to help transform their lives. They also hope to start a formal vocational training program for their residents. Once again, thank you.